I got all my ridiculous filters turned off, so I'm good to go.
Roger, Roger.
Alrighty, welcome everybody. Some ambiance, maybe, eventually.
That always throws me off. I come back in to do something on my sheet, like in the middle of the afternoon, all of a sudden my audio's turned all the way up on my regular computer speakers, and it starts blasting like space station music. And...
Oh yeah. Alrighty, so recapping last session. Anybody want to take that over? Help me remember.
Let's see. We all rescued a few people from T4, right? The moon there, and we realized we had about 80 more folks that had already been taken to Burnout. So we headed to Burnout to try and find them. Made a contact with Rabbit Man. I can't remember the species name.
Yeah, I don't remember it myself right now, but
at the cafe there, and got
Squib.
Yes, Squib.
Yes, yep. Then got access into the underground gladiator fighting arena once again. Met up with a droid there. Knew the secret password to get the hot Jedi Mindbender drink to get the tickets for the front row. Valen impulsively jumped in immediately as soon as the prisoners were escorted into the pit.
Saving the day valiantly.
Much to everyone else's chagrin and confusion. And as we regrouped on what to do, Krellin ran to the door to open that up for us, and we fended off some hounds and an Acklay to escape into the, I guess, the bowels of that arena to rescue the rest of the folks.
And yeah, and did so successfully after fending off some guards at the last minute there. But yeah, then we're able to get away and bring them. So kind of ended up rather than going back to Kalarin, went out to Daruma, the moon of Almas, and resort moon. For all them, and you guys all enjoyed at least a night, if you maybe extended it yourself, but a night on the house at the resort. So what'd you guys do for your week?
Dak just spent as much time as he could there at the resort to take advantage of the complimentary paid for by the cheap militia, because they didn't really pay him that well for the job, so he's gonna get his money's worth from the minibar. Said, put it on the militia's tab.
Valen. Oh, go ahead.
The buffet.
The seafood buffet.
Yeah. I think at this point Lan has like a resort 15 from all the just unlimited seafood at this resort.
A little extra paunch.
Yeah, for sure.
Valen spent the entire week inquiring about his master specifically, but also the status of the Clone Wars, just to see what's going on that front. Jedis never really get vacation after all, so he was relaxed, but still working.
Yeah, Krellin probably just hung out with Dak because he's, probably the one he gets along with the most, and I assume would also try to avoid Valen. I mean, what? Just weirdly not be in the same place.
Dak's not sure if he should be flattered or questioning all of his life choices recently that Krellin gets along well with him.
Maybe I just am remembering wrong, but I know that Krellin has been threatened internally by you guys multiple times, and I feel like some of those have been Dak, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Well, he can appreciate that, so.
Well, he keeps using my name when I'm trying to not use my name, so I force tripped him that one time.
It's true, but he doesn't know that.
No, but that was more playful. I didn't really hurt him.
Yeah.
I just made him fall.
Yeah.
Does Krellin blame Valen for getting force tripped?
Yeah, secretly he's like,
if he was aware of it, he probably would have. Yeah.
You were drinking though.
Yeah, he was.
I
yeah,
was.
I think he was.
And
yeah.
I would say if he wasn't drinking, he probably would have known it wasn't something because he is a very perceptive individual. But he was drinking a lot that day.
Alrighty. So, start off. Everybody, give me some lore checks, please. All right. Oh yeah, and there's only 4 of you guys. I was waiting for the 5th one. So, Lan and Valen, in regards to you know, a system or one of Kularin's moons, specifically Tilnes. You know, Krellin and Dak, you would know of this place. It's just one of the moons of Kularin. But Valen, you know that it's a little bit more, that it's a mining moon. That there's a company out there that operates on that. VMMC is the company. Let's see if I can find the full name. Where is it at? Basically, they're the main ones that were established out there. Here it is, Verga Mer Mining Corporation, who's out there and established on that. Lan, you just whenever in your dealings, you know, maybe at the sabacc table or just out and about, trying to get a, you know, while you're trying to schmooze who you can for employment and whatnot, you've heard a few rumors or whatnot from this place. There were stories about a group of individuals that had went through and explored the moon, or the mines at one time, and you found that there was some traces of some of the cartel, the Metatheran cartel, as well as the Theran military. Some traces there. It just, you know, to you it was rumors and whatnot, stories, as you're rubbing elbows and whatnot throughout there. So, but you all are hit with the reminder of this moon, that is, as you're contacted by someone about they picked up a stress call on Tilnes, from a distress call from within the mines, and are asking if just through different channels and whatnot, it's kind of come across to you guys, as you've built up enough of a reputation that you're one of the groups to have been sought out to see if you can help out with what's going on here. Additionally, Valen and Lan, you would know that this moon suffers EMP bursts. Just the, you know, slight unstableness of the place occasionally lets out a large blast of you know, electromagnetic pulse, and that can definitely cause some issues there. But it's almost like, you know, it's not a super common occurrence, but it happens and then it subsides and things kind of go back to normal. So, but yeah, you're contacted by a gentleman named Nevin Cash, who has reached out and asked if you guys would come out to help out with the situation that's going on.
As long as he's got a ship that can take me there. I'm in.
Yeah, it's either have to, you know, reply back, giving us some transportation there. Do we need to go visit Rena and borrow the old spry hunter?
Yeah, you guys know that that's definitely available for that. But if Nevin asks that if you have an option to try and go for that, just as there's a little bit of urgency here that it might take him a little extra time. He thinks that maybe you guys can procure transportation faster than he'd be able to, but he can if needed.
Do you think
Yeah.
these is it the Resistance that's still here? The ones that did they own the resort?
On Daruma?
Yeah, the ones we just pulled the hostages from. Or
I
rather,
would
took the
say
hostages too.
I would say by now, a good week or so later, that they've mostly kind of dispersed and got some of the captives relocated and whatnot as needed.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna see if they could provide us something, but maybe we can contact Rena.
Yeah, as I say, we can just radio Rena. I mean, it's also never knows. Maybe she has something to take there or something to pick up potentially we can do while we're there for her. It's not a wasted trip to let us borrow it.
That's a good call. That'll make you guys happy.
A little extra cash on the side, yeah.
Some Nevin cash.
That's right.
Oh. It's the Star Wars equivalent of that, but
There you go.
So yeah, I guess jump on the old comms and radio our good buddy Rena.
Yeah, so you're able to get a hold of her, and hello, Dak. What can I do you for?
The Spry Hunter. It happened to be available for borrowing.
You know that you guys have done well enough by me that something comes up, as long as it comes back. I trust you guys have gotten a hang of that thing enough. But yeah, absolutely. But what are you guys needing to go?
And I'm drawing a complete blank on the name of the planet you just told us.
Tilnes. I think
Tilnes, yeah. Just have a little business there in the mines of Tilnes. Hoping to make a few credits, you know how it is.
Yes, indeed. And she says, well, I might have something on top of this. It'll be out of system, but Tilnes is obviously just on the edge here of Kalaran itself, but it's not super time sensitive, so as long as you guys get out in one piece, you want to take care of this delivery, might have some extra credits I can give to you as well.
You know what I like to hear, Rena. Definitely be interested in that while we're out and about.
But she gives you some further details on that, taking that out, and says that it'll be all ready to go for you guys to pick up and do what you need to do.
All right. I don't know if we're all together still or not, if people went various places, but yeah, just kind of radio. I'll meet up at Rena Spaceport and we'll head out for Tilnes.
Yeah, I don't think we separated too much. Maybe Lan's out gambling, but
you're giving me the
oh, that's right. The Jedi Temple
respectable
thing.
gold folder.
Yeah, the Jedi Temple thing's actually on that same planet, wasn't it?
On what? Not on Tilnes, no.
No, not on Tilnes. I was thinking on the resort planet, but it's not.
No, I think that's
Almas.
It's the moon of Almas, I think, right?
Yeah, Daruma is a moon of
That's
Almas, and Almas is where the main academy is. There is an enclave, I think it's called, on Kularan, though. But beyond that, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're all here.
Is she sending the ship to us? Or do we need to contact the Jedi to get a lift over there?
Oh, well, I figured we just take regular transportation, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys if you guys are all still on Daruma for the entire week, then yeah, you'd have to, you know, find ways to get around.
Yeah, I'm sure the resort has some kind of shuttle for all the tourists, right? We can get back to the nearest spaceport.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. And failing that, we can contact the Jedi Temple on Almus. They can
Yeah,
get something up here and
there's
take
definitely
us in system.
definitely an option for you guys in that regard. So, but one way
Yeah,
or
actually,
the other, you guys get back to Kalarin, to Rena's, and are able to grab the Spry Hunter to get on your way towards Tilnes to investigate the situation here. As you begin your ascent off the surface towards the moon, Dak, go ahead and give me a piloting check.
Alrighty.
All right, so routine flight for you, pretty much. You're able to get out there without any incidents, and you head towards the moon. As you come down, there's a good amount of traffic, or it seemed like there was here. Valen and Lan, you guys would also know a little bit that Tilnes has become a little bit of a ground port, or a stopover, I guess, as the one on Kularin has been a little bit busier, just with everything going on. And so there's a little bit of traffic here, but not much, especially with the current situation. But you go and land down, and you see, once you get down there, you do see on the surface, there's a good number of people kind of just rushing around. The ships that are there, you can see crews doing repairs as needed as the EMP kind of went off and caused some problems with some things. And you can see a select group of individuals all wearing a specific uniform that some of you might recognize as the Vergamer Mining Corporation.
Well, shall we see about finding this Nevin Cash and see what he wanted? Sounded pretty urgent.
Well, every request is always stated as urgent. We'll see when we get there how urgent it really is.
You gonna judge that by the amount of credits he gives you?
Well, what other metric would you use?
I mean, tone of voice, people
No,
fleeing for their lives, that kind of thing.
I agree with Lan. The more urgent, the more credits. Otherwise, we just take our time.
So
I also agree.
as you
Like it's 3 against 1.
Valen will just hang his head in shame, just shake his head.
as you come down in the landing bay there, and begin to deboard the ship, a small gentleman comes forward, is kind of sloped shoulders, and he rushes over, and you see that he's wearing a breathing mask, and he rushes over with 4 respiratory masks himself, immediately meeting you on your ship, and just thrusts them into your arms and says, you're gonna need these for the job. 3 hours of air should be plenty of time for the cleanup.
And let's say it's not plenty of time. What Then what?
Says, well, I guess maybe, hopefully you can hold your breath.
Ah. So we're going, no air, I'm assuming.
No, there's air, but,
Be something in the air that we don't want to breathe.
just, yeah, we think there's, sensors are reading some kind of containment, in the ventilation system. It wasn't there before. We did a scan, and, it's something strange. We don't know what it is, though.
Were there any symptoms with people around it? Like, have people been showing any weird signs of it when exposed to it?
No, not yet. Honestly, deep in this portion of the mines, that's the thing. There really hasn't been anybody down in these parts of the mines, which is why the distress call is so odd.
So no one's been down there, but somehow there's a distress call that got let off?
That's
Is anybody
yeah.
supposed to be down there? Like, is anybody scheduled to be down there? Is anybody doing an inspection? Are these just kids playing and they set it off?
Well, if I knew all those answers, I probably
Wouldn't need
probably
us,
wouldn't need
huh?
you to investigate.
Well, what do you guys think? I'll turn to the group.
Well, it sounds like our usual type of business these days. Unusual, can't explain, don't know what's going on.
Might die.
One last
Might die.
question. You haven't seen any sort of, like, dark, deep shadow by chance, have you? Like a shadow that moves? Does that not? I'll look for his face. Do I look like I'm crazy?
Yeah, definitely.
Talking nonsense.
Yeah, he's just kind of.
It's a long story. Just better we don't go into it. But if you don't know, that's all the confirmation I need.
He says, there's definitely some weird stuff going on around here. So it sounds like pick the right group for the job. It seemed like a normal EMP that we get around here, but as everything came back online, a couple things just didn't seem to operate correctly. The distress signal, of course, was a big one, and we haven't really found out anything about what the scan has picked up. We haven't said anything yet. Hoping to get everything settled and settled down quiet like, but we're under quarantine right now. Nobody's leaving until whatever it is we can get isolated.
So is there... But we don't have any sort of symptoms that we can use to see if it was like some sort of disease or just like radiation exposure or something. So I was trying to think we could set up with some sort of at least early detection system for them. Then they can warn us if it's leaked out, but
Right.
maybe that won't work.
Give me insight checks all around. Alrighty. Lan is
I love that one from Lan.
Lan's not very insightful.
So, Valen, you Cash is he's a little shifty and he looks uncomfortable and whatnot, and you just question, that he seems like he might have a little bit more information he could provide.
So I'll pull Dak aside. Be like, excuse me just a moment. I need to confer with him about something. And I'll whisper to Dak, like, this guy does not seem like he's giving us the full detail. Do you want to take a run at him? He's definitely not telling us everything. But I don't know what that is. Maybe he's embarrassed.
Well,
I'm just
I'll
gonna straight up ask him, but if you want to go for a more suave approach, it's probably better I don't do that.
I'll certainly give it a try. And, go back over to. Oh, go
I'll
ahead.
give him guidance. So I'll give Dak guidance to.
Is that
I think that
it's a
gives you.
D6 now, right?
No, D4.
Yes. No, it's a D6 because it goes up at
Level
5th level.
Level 5, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's new because thought it used
Yeah,
to always be
it's
a D4.
new.
I don't know if they. Oh, is it? Okay, because I
Yeah.
read that and I was like, that's weird.
Another.
Is it still a D4?
It should be,
Sure.
but I think it has been changed.
It does have a thing that I followed here. I'll take a quick look.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I guess I have guidance. Say, Nevin, I don't like going into a job blind. I'm sure you can understand. What can you tell us about that segment, the mines? Seems unusual that nobody's ever down there. Is that part of the mine just mined out, or is there something else going on down there? You guys don't go there anymore.
He shifts a bit, and you can tell that he's trying to just avoid. But give me a persuasion check.
Where is it?
Yeah, and then it's a D6. Oh, nice.
Alrighty. So, yeah, he gets a little shifty and standoff, but eventually he kind of leans in and a little bit hushed, and he says, "Well, the cartel were down here a bit ago, and they're supposed to move out, but they didn't really fully move out. Basically, some credits exchanged hands, maybe a lot of credits, I'm not really sure, but I'm nowhere high enough in the food chain within VMMC to really be concerned about that. But most folks thought the cartel was gone, but rumors, there's plenty of rumors that they were still around.
And the cartel was operating in that sector of the mine?
They were, yes.
Is it a fair assumption to make that if we go down there snooping around, they're not going to be thrilled with that?
Says there's nothing else I can really provide. Just as I said, these are kind of my own rumors. Lan, this conversation would just kind of spark some of the stories you've heard, just knowing that the cartel was down there. And then, yeah, Cash just says, this distress signal is basically, the first proof I've had of their potential existence. But beyond that, no other info on what they were doing.
Well, I don't doubt it. I bet the cartel's down there as we speak.
Well, this is starting to sound less like a rescue mission and more of a assault.
I don't do assassinations, by the way.
Yeah, you see that he kind of, almost steps back in shock. No, that's not at all what we got going on here. As I said, we just need some help investigating what's going on.
I see. Well,
all right. Well,
in Krellin's the man if you want investigation done, but I can tell you right now, he is not cheap.
Yeah, lets out a sigh.
That's a lie. He'd work for free.
He lets out a sigh and
Don't tell him that.
I know.
Valen, you give me a quick persuasion check.
My specialty.
Send the Jedi for some aggressive negotiations.
It's still he looks at you a little awkwardly, but he's still riding off of what Dak's charm, I guess. He says, "Listen, I don't have much, unfortunately, but I can give you guys 500 credits each. You're able to take care of this and investigate the distress call."
Well, as I said before, I'm in. But I'll see what my friends want to do too. So I'll just turn to the rest of you guys. Like 500
Well,
credits, just go down there and take a look. Not bad, right?
I'll tell you what, Cash, we'll do the 500 credits, but anything we happen to come across down there of value that we can carry, we'll take claim of that. Deal?
I don't really think there's much down there of value. He gives you a little bit of a wink as he says that.
So we have a deal then.
Gives you a nod, and then he puts out his hand and offers over a data chip that essentially helps you guys navigate to the entrance of the base, where the signal is basically emanating from.
All right, so I'll take the chip and toss that over to Lan. He can load it up into his little wrist pad thing he's got there for us.
Yeah, Lan takes the chip and hands a business card to Cash as he slots it in.
Kind of looks it over a little confused, like what's he supposed to do with this, but still kind of, obliges you and puts it in a pouch pocket.
Did you get those at bulk discount right there, Lan? Seems to never run out.
You wouldn't believe the bulk or the discount. All right, I played the data chip. What's on it?
So it's just kind of coordinates to get down to the base.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing much beyond that.
Well, it looks like we know where we're going.
It's like, yeah, who knows what we're gonna find down there. Now I'm gonna cast Battle Precognition on myself. Just because.
Well, I guess these masks aren't generating any more extra air for us. We should probably get moving on. The quicker we can get out of here and get our credits, the better.
Indeed.
I agree.
These are under your 3-hour mark of available air as you head into the deeper parts of the mines towards the base. So you're able to make your way towards the entrance to the base, but however, there is basically a heavy blast door and security system that seems to be on the fritz from the EMP. As you come up to that, as you try to check the door to get access, you see that it is not working as it should.
That Balin, take a look at the door and see, like, could it potentially be moved by using the force to slide them across? Like,
This one
like it
is
has some sort of manual control.
Nah, this one's I mean, It would
pretty heavy
take a,
blast door.
yeah, it's a pretty significant, you know, this is kind of one of the main entrance doors into the facility.
It's like, I could cut through it, but I wouldn't want to ruin one of their blast doors. They're difficult to replace.
I guess from looking at it, does it look like power's back to it and it's just screwed up, or there's just like no power, like it's completely dead, so there's no like electronics working on it?
Yeah, it looks like that, yeah, the power, there's no power to it.
Okay, so we can't just like fix it per se and, you know, hotwire it, basically.
Well,
I'm
you could
thinking.
maybe get power back to it, but that's part of the main reason is that power, there's no power.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess seeing that this is like a electronic sort of door, look over to Lan and say, "Hey, take a look at this thing real quick and see if there's any way to get power back to this, get this thing open."
Yeah, I can look it over. Does it look like there's anything I can slice or anything I can rewire to hotwire this door to open?
Yeah, it looks it shouldn't be too difficult for, you know, some basic work to get some power back to it, and then from there looking at the, you know, systems to, you know, getting past the security systems and whatnot. So give me a quick technology check. Oh yeah, that'll definitely do it with the 24. So you kind of route some wiring around and whatnot, and yeah, the systems kind of power up as you get the source of power connected, and now in front of you you are at the door with the security systems to get into the door back online. But of course you don't have access to that. That's you know, another obstacle that you guys need to see about getting through, it seems.
I guess I forgot to ask about any kind of key codes or anything to get through these doors.
Is there nothing on the data chip?
Just coordinates, right?
Yeah, yep.
Lan tries entering the coordinates as a key code.
Yeah, it just yells at you. It's not
Well,
Is this sliceable?
yeah, you think it's definitely sliceable.
Okay, I'm gonna try to slice it.
Okay.
I do have a computer spike or a security spike if you need one.
I don't know. Will 16 do it?
Yes, you are able to get past this. Eventually, it takes a little bit of extra time, but you're able to get past it and get the door opened. So with a heavy whoosh, it does begin to slide open, and you guys are entering into the next area of the base.
Nice.
There, as you enter in, there are. It's a pretty gruesome sight. You are in a in kind of a front security room, not security room, but second. Just a, you know, main entrance room. It's pretty large. There's computers along the wall and whatnot, but accompanying everything else in the room is a pretty horrid sight in the form of bodies, just kind of strung about the room, piled on top of each other. Give me perception checks as you guys come in. What was that, Valen?
I was gonna say, do they look like they got shot? Like, do they look like they got, like they just keeled over? What's the state?
Yeah, so initially, you guys see that they're all smaller bodies, and they fit the description of Carites, species that you all would know definitely is part of the cartel, Mediterranean cartel. So it kind of makes sense given that the cartel is down here. But many of them still pinkish, where you can see the faces. There's seems like visibly frozen grins of pain and fear. There is there's a bit of a stench from everything. That even seems to kind of get through the respirators a little bit. You see another thing that you see, Valen and Dak, you guys would kind of pick this out, probably Krellin as well. There are scratches on the walls beside the door, as well as the floor, on the floor in front of the doors, on the doors themselves, that looks like something. Someone or something is definitely trying to claw their way out. As I said, there's a huge bank of computers along the wall, but the rest is essentially just bodies. There is a hallway to the south of the room as well. Valen, you, as you asked, you can give me a medicine check if you'd like, as you go and inspect some of these creatures.
19.
Okay.
I think we should just nuke the place from orbit.
Yeah, I've seen a few movies start this way.
So, you... Alright, rough roll.
A 19? That's a rough roll.
Oh, considering you got a plus 11.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
As you go and look around and kind of inspect the Carites and whatnot, they've been dead for a while. It's definitely nothing very recent. And there's no physical marks of, at least initially, you don't see any marks that, like gunshots or whatever, things like that. You doing just some inspection, you think that there's more of a virus or something that took over, or got injected into or inhaled or something into the Carites, and that it took its time, and by the sight of it was a very unpleasant way to go. There are some bite marks, though, you do see on some of them.
Bite marks. Do they look like, I guess, what sort of teeth do the Carites have? Does it look like they were bitten by the people in the room, or does it look more like a beast?
It looks similar to a Carite dentition than from what you see.
Okay. Well, that's odd. I'll tell the group. I'm like, appears they, at one point at least, looks like they were trying to get out of the room and died from something they inhaled, maybe. And then they were biting each other? Or at least a few of them were? I don't know anything about the Carites to know whether or not that's normal, but I don't think that's normal.
Well, look, I'm gonna look on these computers, see if there's any security data, and if I see some dark fog going into these folks, causing them to eat each other, we're gonna have a team meeting.
Okay. First that, then the jumping into an arena. I get it. I'll keep taking a look at the bodies, and while he's doing that, I'll just try to kind of dress them up and make them more like presentable for death, so they don't just look like they're sprawled over in a giant pile of mess.
Alrighty.
Dak will assist with the checking out the bodies and look for anything of interest, as well as potential maybe like data entry cards, like ID badges
Yeah.
to like
Yep.
swipe
The rest of
into
you guys,
other
if you
areas
want,
and
can
things.
give me investigation checks.
Yeah, I'll only look for that sort of stuff, not credits.
I'm looking for credits too. It just happens to be there.
Yeah, I kind of figured what you're up to.
I feel like Dak's more like he's looking for credits, but if other useful things happen to be there,
Yeah, you never know.
Sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you get what you need.
oh, I need credits. That's not.
All right, land pretty well. Dak digging around, finding a few things. Krellin, you doing an investigation check there?
He's probably just standing. See if anything sticks out. Definitely has his gun out. Something moves, I'm shooting it.
All right, so Dak, you there's not really much of note on too many of the bodies themselves. I mean, you see, kind of what Valen has already mentioned, that they've definitely been dead for a while. You can kind of see that they've been moved. It looks like they've been moved, though, since they died. Like, a few of you would kind of pick up on this, that Valen, as you're moving them around, kind of pick up on that they didn't die here in place, many of them. They have just some standard bits of gear that you would expect a miner to have, just some tools and whatnot. But you notice that anything really electronic that they had is just fried. Probably from the EMP, it just really destroyed that. And all of them have standard cartel identification badges. But that, kind of like that would have had whatever credit card stripe type thing, but likely demagnetized in the blast as well. Valen had pointed it out, but you see the bite marks as well, and you can just further signs that something has kind of moved around in the area. Lan, as you're kind of going to inspect the computer bank on the wall, one of the Karaites is over there, and it's cradling what looks to be a smashed silver casing. It looks like the remnants of a smashed, fried and melted hard drive. Just destroyed. And you'd also notice, Lan, as you go over, the computer system here is also without power.
Well, it looks like we're not going to have that team meeting after all. I don't think I'm getting much from this. Land picks up a just slag heap of a drive and holds it up to everyone and tosses it on the ground, kind of pissed off.
You would see, Land, that that the computer system itself looks fine, but yeah, just that one specific drive had been pulled out.
Okay, so I can try to plug in the computers and see.
Yeah, there might still be
okay.
some other information there. You would infer.
So would that be a technology check to do that?
You got to get the power back up first.
Yeah.
So,
power
yep.
back up.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that it doesn't take much, to get this rerouted. Similar process to the door before, and you get that, and eventually everything kind of starts booting up, initiating whatnot, and yeah, then you're able to, now if you want, try and get in and see if you can pull any information out of this. See, maybe help you guys out with what's going on.
Let's see if there's some surveillance or some logs, something.
Okay, give me a Slicer's Kit check.
Merlin, I might need your help with this one.
Is that the I can't tell. Is that the computer spike or the slicer?
Slicer's Kit. Yeah.
Land needs some help.
Does.
Yeah, they got me out with some kind of weird ice. I don't know.
All right, I'll go over and try to aid him in his struggles. Just a Slicer's Kit, or
Yeah.
okay.
So either. Okay.
I do have a computer spike if you need one.
Krellin goes over and kind of gives a hand, is able to push it over the line and get into what you need. And once you're in, kind of digging through some of the file systems that seem to be left, you see a personal log of somebody by the name of Celis Bowl. And it looks like just some basic information that they were a technician assigned to the station, and he has a log there which says starts off and it dated and says starts off at 21 days ago. I can't believe I've been here 4 months. I want to go back to Karaman. It's not natural to hide ourselves below the surface of this rock. We should be out in the light of the suns, arranging trade agreements, not hiding and watching a bunch of wood-loving freaks. There are only so many ways I can keep this job interesting. Scramble this, descramble that, track shipments, do inventory. There's more to running a great trade alliance than hiding. There must be. Are we not one of the most powerful trading concerns in what remains of the Republic? Next entrance is the day after, 20 days from the current day. Envoy Lug spoke today over the Karite HoloNet. All seems to be going well. There is prosperity at home, and the alliances he had sought to forge are stronger than ever. As the galaxy divides itself, it is those who stay out of the conflict who will be strongest when the smoke clears. Let the loyalist and separatist kill one another, and when the winner emerges weak from the fight, those who were wise from the outset will be there waiting. Not that wise Envoy Lug said as much, of course, but that's what everyone believes. Long live the cartel. You all would be familiar enough that he's speaking of Therm Lug, who's the current head of the cartel. A couple days after that, 18 days ago, Kobass asked me to boil bean juice for him today. Is that all I am? A bean juice boiler? I showed him, though. Little spittle in the bean just maybe just what Kobass needs. 16 days ago, paycheck docked. Blast Kobass and his blasted purifier. They threatened to make me program the bean juice boiler to detect the presence of impurities, and I'd be tempted, since doing the programming, I could refrain from defining my own spittle as an impurity, if not for the fact that they have me working on the pseudonet encryption. It's the most important project around, and I'm just happy they didn't take me off it. Just goes to show I'm too good for boiling bean juice. I need to be more careful. You come to one last entry in the log, 14 days ago from current day. The visitors have gone. It makes all of us uneasy when outsiders are brought here. The people of Kalaran really dislike us, and bringing in humans, even those who claim to be our allies, does not do great things for morale. I know that I will complete this thought later. Explosion in South Corridor near Kobas office. Should go, and then it just, the letter O just goes on seemingly forever, and then it just cuts off.
Lan turns to Krellin, since we've both been sitting here cracking this, reading this Silas Bull's diary. And he says, "Man, that Kobas guy sounded like a real ball buster. What happened to him?"
I would wager he's dead.
Did you
Probably
guys find
right.
something?
Evidence that people are dead.
Some crack investigation, Krellin. Say, as Dak gestures to the dead bodies all around.
Been dealing with dead bodies for the last 10 minutes.
It's like moving bodies. Like, I think there might be someone dead here.
Oh, really?
I think there was some sort of incident in this room.
More to the point, it looks like Mr. Ball was working on some kind of top secret project. I think that might be some valuable information for us to pull out of this hole.
What
If
sort
we
of
can find
project?
something on encryption. He seems to have seems to have left this mortal plane before he was able to finish explaining it.
You had mentioned an office of an individual named Kobas. That seemed to be where some explosion came from. If we wish to die, I suggest we go investigate that.
Well, you all know my thoughts on that, so I won't lead the charge, but you know I'm game to jump in.
Yeah, if there's one thing we know you like to do is to jump in.
And fall on my face.
Yeah, no, if there was some sort of explosion, we should probably head there next to see what we can find.
Sure, I'll lead the way.
Hey, Lan, can you make a copy of that information?
Sure.
So we have something. Might come in
Yeah,
handy later.
Lan copies it all down to one of his data cards.
Alright, easy enough to do.
Like, just in case we need it later, we'll have it for reference.
Good thinking.
Plus, I don't know how common these EMPs are, but just in case we hit another one. Although maybe it'll probably kill what's on the card, but maybe we can get out of here before the original records get destroyed. Somebody has to come rescue us. So maybe we'll have something for them.
I would hope that Star Wars memory chips are somehow shielded from electrical magnetic interference. Otherwise, it'd be pretty bad deal. Lose all your data every time some sort of EMP goes off.
The magnetic reversal of a planet's poles. You lose all your technology.
Every computer on this Star Destroyer was wiped clean due to this EMP. Sweet.
Instead, there was a long corridor that connected to this room that we're in.
You see the you see the beginning of a corridor to the south of the room.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. It does look like it extends down.
So did we see any sort of security cards or key cards or anything like that that might help us later?
So the cartel members, the curates, they had badges, ID badges that seemed to be kind of dual purpose for that, but you know, you just kind of expect with everything else, they probably didn't fare too well in the EMP blast.
Gotcha. I was like, well, we can take this Celis Bowles name tag, maybe, just in case. I mean, it probably won't work, but if
Oh,
we
that's
need
true.
one.
Is Celis Bowl the guy that was holding the drive that was dead, or is it somebody else?
I doing a quick inspection. It does seem like that yes, that was him. That he was the one that had the destroyed drive.
Oh, okay.
And if these things do work, he seemed to be at least decently high-ranking enough that we'll probably get access to most of whatever we need. At the very least, this Kobas guy's office.
Hmm.
Although if that explosion happened, maybe we don't need a key card to get in there.
Yeah, so I guess we can grab the card and then let Lan lead the way. He's got the map, I guess, of the place.
Oh, does he?
If
Or do we
there
just
was
have-
anything on the computer that would give me a map. Otherwise, no.
Oh, I guess I didn't know if the data chip that we got had the layout of the rest of this place, or just to get us to the door to get in.
Right. No, nothing on the data chip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's no "you are here" directory.
Nope.
Well, I think Krellin said it was, or I don't know if Krellin mentioned it, or from the things that were the southeast office or something.
Southwest corridor? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was either the southeast or the southwest where Celis said the explosion came from.
Yeah, he said south corridor.
Oh, just south. Okay.
Yeah. But and that's the direction towards where this hallway is that comes off of this main entrance room that you guys have are in currently.
Okay.
Well, we all know what happens when I lead, so maybe not me.
Rellin will lead the charge. He can see in the dark and whatnot.
I'll give Krellin a nice pat on the back and give him guidance. Be like, keep your eyes peeled. Look sharp.
There is lighting in here. That was one system that did come back.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so yeah, nothing. Everything's not completely shut down because generally, these EMPs happen and the systems just kind of go on a fritz and come back. But it seemed that this time around, for some reason, things went haywire. So, but yeah, you can head down across the room and towards the corridor. As you head towards that, you're greeted by a hallway, and you can see doorways on either side. And it eventually gets down to a little bit larger of a room that opens up at the end. But there's doors on each side room there that you're looking at.
Are they shut doors, or like just doorways that you can walk through?
They have doors on them. They actually all look pretty for Star Wars, primitive doors. Definitely simple, almost hinge type. Swing open.
Okay.
There's something you don't see every day. You might have one of these if you go live inside a hut in a swamp or something, but I don't think this is a typical door. I've read about these in books. You ever heard of those? Like actual paper books. You believe they have those still? Then Valen notices no one's talking to him. Because he's talking about books.
No, I don't do a lot of reading in my free time.
Ah. Luxury of being a Jedi, I guess.
I shot some paper once.
Yeah?
Had rings on it. It was for target practice.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. I'll have to show you one sometime. They're pretty marvelous.
Promise not to shoot it.
So you say they're doors. Do they look like wood doors?
No, they're they kind of they fit the
Metal?
rest of the structure. Yeah.
Okay.
So they just yeah, seemed to be more of a old way to get into.
So you
Gotta
said
wonder.
okay, so we made it to the so we're just walking down the hallway and there's doors on either side and that's the end of the hallway or the hallway continues on still?
It kind of goes. There's about 3 or 4 doors that you can see, and then the hallway you can see kind of opens up into a larger room.
Okay. Um, Outside of the doors, is there any kind of identifying marks or anything that says like Cobass office or storage? They're just doors.
Yeah, so just kind of looking around at those, you know, most of them don't really have anything. You know, they just seem like, yeah, they don't really say anything. One of them, you go to it, does mention Kobas. It's his personal office.
Hmm. Yeah, so point to the group as well. This looks like the office of that Cobas that they mentioned in the recording. Although the door looks in pretty good shape for there to have been an explosion here. Must have been a pretty small explosion.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, should maybe I use the force to open the door? Just in case?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what to expect, but
yeah, be my guest, and Dak will move out of the way, and Krellin can try to open the door.
Oh, I
Valen will.
will
Oh,
do
did
that.
Krellin want to do it?
Or no, Valen,
Sure.
sorry.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's willing, but better Valen than Krellin.
Yep.
Valen will stand back a little bit, about 10 feet from the door, and kind of just slowly open it.
I was
Using
looking
force
at
pull.
Krellin as I meant to save.
All right, so it's, you know, this is easy obstacle to manipulate, and you are able to you know, push it open. It swings wide, and you get a glimpse inside. Standing outside, so you know, the hallway is at its limit, 10 feet, so you'd be back against your wall, back against the wall of the opposite side of the hallway if you're trying to get a head-on distance from that. But as that opens up, you can see there's a little bit of a bluish something in the room, like on the walls and whatnot, once the door swings open.
Is it like a residue?
Yeah,
Or,
it
like,
seems something like a residue or something.
Okay. Like, I've never seen anything like that before. Does it look like organic? Or does it look more like I guess inorganic, for lack of a better term? Like, does it look like somebody's blood, like a different species' blood, or
You can go in and give a you know, if you want to do a more specific look at it, you can.
I suppose, yeah, Valen will do that carefully, just looking around the office to make sure he's not triggering anything or there's nothing lingering.
So give me a perception check first, then.
Okay.
Okay. So as you come into the room, you see a single workstation, and there's, you know, there's no bodies in this room, and you know, desk where the workstation's at, is things like that, a small table. You know, it's not highly furnished, but anyway, once you come in and you know, take in the room, you see against the wall, you see this blue, whatever it is, sprayed seemingly almost throughout most of the room, where that workstation was. But one thing that's odd is up against the wall, there is a portion that is not covered in the blue residue.
It looked like a body silhouette of
It
some kind.
does, yeah.
I was gonna ask if it was like a person, like
Wile E. Coyote
Yeah.
style, yeah.
Is the looking at the silhouette? Is it possible to tell like human Carite, or is it just too indistinguishable?
It's
Like, is it a
height-wise, you would gather it's Carite.
Carite? Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no body anywhere.
There's not a body in the room, nope.
What about So looking up, is there a way to find like a point of origin, like where this stuff might have been coming from, based on looking at that, and see if like there's a package or
Yeah,
something still there?
give me an investigation check.
get my Krellin, get his CSI kit out and start trying to check out the blood splatter and
Get the UV light before we start touching stuff in here.
So, anytime I think of like investigation stuff, and actually the episode was on today, but when Dwight finds the doobie in the parking lot on The Office, and just he's out there and
Yes.
he's like lining it up, it just it cracks me up every time. Anyway, yeah, as you begin taking a closer look, you go over to the workstation and you can see like some scorch marks and whatnot where the silhouette is. That it looks like this explosion was triggered on the desk, and then the proximity and whatnot, that the silhouette, that individual likely took the main force of the blast.
But so I'll relay all that information to the rest of the group. But I don't know what this stuff is, but whatever it is, he seemed to take it full force, and I don't see a body anywhere. But we did notice that those other ones had been moved, so maybe someone or something came and grabbed the body, took it somewhere. I don't know why, but if they're moving other bodies around, it's definitely seems like a possibility to me.
Here we said there's not. You said there was a workstation. Is there any computer still or anything in this this office?
Sorry, say that again.
I know you said there was like a when you said like a single workstation. Did you mean like there's like a computer in this room still?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where the blast went off.
Oh, so like is the workstation like, I guess, gone, or is it still?
Not no. It's as you kind of take a look at that, as Valen points it out. It seems that the explosion was more to propel whatever this stuff is on the walls than be more of a yeah, kinetic type damaging explosion.
Okay.
With a biochemist kit, do you think I'd have like a vial, like a couple free vials, or something
Probably.
like that within that kit? I know
Yeah.
I didn't have them physically, but
Yep.
I want to take a small sample of that blue stuff,
Okay.
just to kind of, just in case it ends up being something we can run tests on it or
Yeah.
something.
Yep. So you're definitely able to do that.
Okay. Like, well, whatever it is, does it look like it took him out, or is it something else, like a contaminant of some sort?
You're asking me, or just?
Like in general.
Yeah.
Shit.
And this goes. I know more about blasters and things, not blue goop on the walls.
Like, like there's no body.
If it is something dangerous, I don't think taking it out of here is a good idea.
You do raise a good point. Like, well, we gotta come back this way anyway to get out of here, I think, right? At least based on the schematics we know at the right now. I'll leave it here, and then if we need to, I can come back and grab it.
Yeah. That assumes we're going to be able to have time to come back. You never know.
Well, if we don't have time to come back, then me grabbing this thing's probably not going to be all that important. We'll think of something. But I kind of agree. Maybe we shouldn't be taking it out of here until we know exactly what it is. So Valen will leave he'll keep the vial collected, but he'll kind of leave it upright in a place where he can come back for it later.
Okay.
Does anybody recognize what this stuff is?
The blue stuff?
Mhm. I'm
Uh,
asking the group, really. I don't know if
yeah.
they'd actually. Like, seems to be something I can't identify.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you would probably be best to do so. But you can tell it's some kind of a, chemical agent. But that's the extent. I mean, without being able to take time to process that and whatnot, you're just not sure what it is.
Alright, well. Thankfully you gave me that antitox kit, Lan. Hopefully we don't have to use it. Like, well, if that's it for this office, where do you suggest we go now? This was Kobas's office, it appears.
Is there anything of note in the other offices that are around here that we saw?
You guys can go check them out.
Yeah, Lan would definitely like to get to the bottom of this blue goo explosion. Doesn't sound good.
I blued
Just
myself.
doesn't sound right.
Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards or whatever.
Mark Summers, the big bad evil guy.
Yeah, I feel like we totally missed an opportunity. We should have walked in and been like, yeah, something definitely blew up in here.
Ah,
What if we go to the next room and it's blue everywhere? There's
So
your
yeah, I guess
shot.
we'll, yeah. Let's take one last look around. If there's nothing else in this room. Yeah, agree with Lan. Let's go take a look at these other offices and see if we can find anything
Oh,
of
by the
note.
way, guys, if you want to take stuff, feel free. I'm not gonna give you any grief about it, or some Jedi lecture, but I'm not gonna help you look for it either.
I don't think that would stop us either way.
All right.
I don't know about you, Krill, but that's certainly a load off my conscience. I was worried.
Oh, of course. I don't know how I would have went on.
Now I don't have to be so sneaky when I pick things up.
On that note, is any one of these rooms appear to be some sort of med bay or have some sort of medical supplies?
So there are 3 other offices that you guys can check out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to? I don't know. Are
No.
they numbered like 1, 2, 3? And we'll just pick which one we're gonna go to first.
Sure. Lead the way.
So you went. So Kobas's office was the farthest away from the entrance room. There is a room across the hall, and then there are 2 rooms opposite sides, a little bit farther up the hallway back towards the entrance.
All right. Well, guess we'll start with the one across the hall.
Okay.
Sounds good. You want me to open it?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. I'll just use force pull to slightly open it again. Won't
Okay.
take any precautions on this.
Dak will get his blaster pistol out just in case.
So push that guy open, and you're in a. In here is an office size similar to Kobas's, but in here there is you can see 5 workstations, so crammed in here. I mean, they fit, but you know, they a little bit more. They're initially. Are you guys going in to look further?
Balin will look for like bodies, people.
Okay, just give me a quick perception check. So you go in there. Is that 14 your roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just popped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah, so taking a look around the room, there you can see that anything, you know, the workstations or anything that seems electronic looks to you know, almost either exploded or melted, whatnot. You don't see any bodies in this room at all. And that's about it. There's no signs of like the blue chemical spray. It's just a simple workstation, you know, set of workstations here. Everything seems to be, you know, wrecked, electronic wise. That's it.
Like, this is. We don't happen to have, like, there wasn't any sort of image of Kobas in his office, like, right? That we could compare, like, we could know if he was within the first room's, like, pile of bodies. We don't have any sort of accounting of who or what they are, right?
I mean, you didn't see anything. You know, his desk was there. You could probably go, you know, inspect that.
Because I'm wondering where all these bodies went. Like, I mean, there's enough people in the main room, I assume, to fill all those workstations. But were all those bodies in the main room everybody that was down here? Or was that just the people in the main room and then the people in these rooms went
But
somewhere
you
else?
would remember that, you know, a few of you realized that the bodies seem to have been moved. It wasn't necessarily their where they fell in that entrance room.
Oh, okay. So they were still probably in the room when they died, but they moved around the room. Like they weren't they weren't where they were when they died.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This
All
one's a
right, so
head
we just
scratcher for me.
basically have an empty room with a bunch of fried workstations basically in here.
This
Yeah.
Yep, the other office, yes.
Okay, well, guess let's go back up the hall and check the other 2 rooms and see if they're more the same or if anything interesting.
Sounds good to me. And Valen will, when he gets to the rooms close enough, he'll pull one of the doors open at random.
Okay. As you do, on the left side, a door opens up, and you see a group of workstations. Specific looks like there's 7 workstations in this room, a couple more than the other room. But again, very similar to the first office you looked at, or the second office, I should say. You know, electronics are pretty much destroyed, and beyond that, nothing. No other bodies in the room.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but the whole no bodies thing is a bit weird.
Well, I
Well, must
wouldn't-
have dragged them all out.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect necessarily everybody just to drop dead at their workstation. If they got infected with something, they may have realized it and tried to escape.
Well, I suppose that's what I mean. I mean, it's just kind of odd that they're not here. I mean, at least maybe it doesn't, whatever it is, doesn't get you quick. But I'm worried about, I'm worried about someone rounding people up and doing force knows what to them. Anyway,
Yeah,
Would-
so
try the last door.
Would Lan have heard of like some kind of space parasite that's capable of doing this?
You can give me a You can give me a lore check. So I mean, you've heard of things that have you've definitely heard of viral type viruses and other things. But I mean, you don't really know what specifically ailed these Karaites and whatnot. So it's yeah. There's nothing that would help you out in that department, unfortunately.
But it does seem possible that they could have gotten infected and then like become kind of zombies, right? And like ran out and bit their friends.
I mean, I would say that that's in the realm of possibility, yeah. If that's kind of what you're after, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to know if that's a possibility or if that's not really an explanation for how they could have gotten out.
Yeah.
Are you telling the group this? You
No, I
think
think Lan just has like a wild notion that he's not ready to share yet.
internally thinking about space zombies.
Yeah, Lan is thinking like, well, maybe they got infected by some kind of parasite and they wanted to go and bite their friends to spread the parasite to their friends. That seems like parasitic behavior, but you know, he's just heard tale.
Well, let's hope one of these offices has something of value in it, because 500 credits isn't really cutting it, wasting our time down here.
Have you been looking? I've
Yeah,
been turning the other way.
there's empty rooms of workstations. Not a big market out there for fried electronics, as far as I know.
Have you checked their desks? Or do they not have
I don't know,
drawers?
And other desks in here, I don't even know. I just assume they're just like tables with PCs on them.
The guy had his computer sitting on a treasure chest. Didn't you pay attention to that?
Yeah, in the side offices, they're more of like a workstation where it's basically computer console, whatnot. There's not really storage or anything here.
All right, so I guess let's check the last office. Did we check what's his name's desk or just the workstation, like
Did
the
not.
PC? Oh, well, we'll hit that on the way out after we get down to the last room.
So you head over to the last one, and that opens up, and this looks like a little bit of a, just kind of a restroom, break room, whatever. There's a couple tables, no workstations, nothing really else of note. It actually looks like it, doesn't really get used.
All right, we'll take a look around and say, well, another dead end. Let's go back and check that co-boss's desk. We forgot to take a look. Maybe he had some good stuff, or maybe some pictures of him and his family that Valen you can return to.
Oh, perfect.
We're gonna give me a perception check right now, please.
Everybody?
Everybody. Alrighty. Dak is all ears, and as you guys head out of this last room, going to swing into Kobas's office one last time, Dak, you pick up on a scream that seems to come from further into the complex, the base, and it has a little bit of a sound of pain and part pain, part terror that seemingly gets cut off mid-breath.
Well, that doesn't sound great.
Did you hear something?
Yeah, suddenly heard a scream. You guys didn't. Nobody else heard that?
Oh, no, I'm still thinking about all that blue stuff.
Yeah, just heard a scream, and then it got cut off, so I guess this office can wait.
Suppose so. Or one of us can go check out the office, and the rest of us can move on ahead.
Yeah, splitting up right now seems like the best course of action. I agree. You go deeper into the complex, and we'll go make sure the exit is secured.
Well, I probably shouldn't lead, especially after last time. Thought I
Well,
might be on probation with the rest of you guys, not get to lead until I've proven myself again. That kind of a thing.
yeah, until we figure out what made the scream, or more importantly, cut off the scream, we should probably stick together and stay on alert.
Say something cut off the scream? That can't be good.
My thoughts as well.
Alright, well, lead on.
Dak will have his blasters drawn, I guess, and start heading towards the direction the scream came from.
Oh, it's that kind of thing. Alright. Balin will ready his lightsaber but not turn it on.
Were you heading back into the office? Are you going past that now?
Yeah, we'll go past that for now.
Okay. All right. As you step towards this room, there is, as you get close to it, you get a feeling of coldness. Maybe a good 30 degrees cooler than the rest of the facility. And you come into what looks like to be a kitchen area. As you step through, exit the corridor into this large room. Give me a wisdom save, Dak, as you step in. So as you come in, you are just hit with an extremely horrible sight. There was a good number of bodies in that first room, but it seems like this is the collection room for all the bodies. Give me a perception check now, please. Is anyone else coming in behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
would
be
go
right behind him.
Okay, so you guys can all give perception checks.
Jeez.
All right, a couple nat ones. So, Lan and Krellin, as perhaps you did not have strong enough will to fight off the sight, Dak, and you're distracted. Valen as well. Everything you see is pretty ghastly, but you guys still see, in general, Dak and Valen, on all the bodies that are in the room. There's piles of them stacked. Some of them hang on the walls. Some of them are seated in chairs. The decomposition here is not as bad as the other ones up front, given that colder temperature in here, whether on purpose or not. But Lan and Krellin, while the other two are kind of just dealing with the shock of the room, you guys do pick out, among the Karite bodies, which all of them are, you do see 3 human bodies. One of them, has their shirt ripped away, compared to the other 2.
Well, I'll make sure my gun is loaded. And check behind us to make sure there's nothing there. And
give
then...
give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, things. I mean, doesn't seem that there's anything else in the area.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait with my gun. I don't feel keen walking up to the pile of corpses.
No, they look frozen. You said?
Not frozen, no. No,
Or just
it's significantly cooler here that
okay.
you feel has delayed some of the decomposing.
Okay.
You, I think when you were checking out the other ones, they've been dead for a little bit. The Karaites have, a good potential, longer than a week or so. You couldn't get a good read on it, but
Okay.
definitely a while.
And I don't
But
notice
these
the
ones in
humans at
here
all.
seem fresher, just because probably of the temperature. What was that?
Gotcha. I don't notice the humans.
Eventually you would, yes, but the other two that were a little bit more attentive when they came in would be the ones that see those at first right away.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna see, does it look like the humans have been in here about the same amount of time? Like, do they look like they've been dead about the same amount of time?
You can go up and give me a medicine check.
Alright, I will do that.
So as you go up to check them out, you can tell already as you get up close to them that they definitely, look like they're fresher, to put it bluntly, and you can actually you think that potentially less than an hour. They're freshly, they've been freshly taken out.
Okay. Well, that
And
gives
of
one
course, you do
confidence,
know
right?
that it's not recent enough though for one of them to be likely be the sound that Dak heard.
Well, these humans seem to have been dead a lot less time than the Karaites. Karaites about a week or so, from what I can tell. These humans, maybe an hour. But
Do
no one that
do the
made that scream.
do the humans have any kind of I don't know, identification or anything on them?
So, Valen, Krellin, you guys would see this just with the passives. Valen, especially when you go up to inspect them. But the one that has their shirt ripped away, you do see what looks like a tattoo underneath. It's not completely exposed because some of the shirt fabric is there, but you can see parts of a tattoo. It's kind of in like his. It's up on the shoulder part, so his shirt's ripped away, and now you can see little bits of it up there.
Is it a symbol we recognize?
So as you pull it away to get a better look, what you see is it's a tattoo depicting there's like a spire type symbol that is rising up, and it looks like you would definitely recognize at least these symbols. A lightsaber handle seemingly cracked in half, cracked in two at the base of this spire symbol. Give me a Valen, give me a lore check, please.
Balin should probably know this. I think he's got inspiration. He's really gonna try to remember what this is.
Okay.
So I put it on my character sheet. Did you add it to the Roll20 as well? Or is that something else?
So I would just use the tokens. Yeah, the tokens will be the ones that you guys will utilize going forward, so.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Right again.
I'll tell you, you should think long and hard on it. Let the force help you remember.
That was the force helping me to remember, giving me one more point above what I.
I was gonna say, give yourself guidance.
Oh, I should do guidance. Can I do guidance on that?
You can.
Let's do that. Give me another d6. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Not
So, as you think on this symbol and do look to the Force to help out, eventually it all comes together, and it seems like it's so obvious after you figure out what it was. But it seems to depict the spire of the Sith fortress rises from the sands of Elmas.
Oh, that's where I've seen that before. Do I know what all do I know about the tower?
So it was I think that might be in some of the stuff I sent over on Elmas to you.
Don't remember.
Check. I think it was in the campaign guide that I said you can read. I think from what I recall, let me see here. Basically, someone had came and many years ago had came and formed basically had this this fortress, and it's all stone. The Jedi do have records of an ancient Sith master who used the fortress in his war against the Republic, but it was abandoned. But the stone withstood tremendous amounts of laser fire and whatnot. Basically, then the Jedi, established the academy to kind of look over the darkness that still seems to somewhat emanate from that spot, and then just make sure to keep it in check.
So I'll relay all that to the group. It's like, just in case you guys didn't know. Like, so if somebody's built a group surrounding, I don't know, what would appear to be the worship of this tower, that's probably not a good thing. You may not know exactly what it is or what form it takes, but I can't see that turning out to be good. Anyone who starts a dark side cult usually doesn't end well for anybody. Probably should be on the lookout. And especially if something's killing people like them. Well, be on the lookout. He's gonna clutch his lightsaber just a little bit tighter. Now, did this belong to a specific group? Or does he just recognize what the symbol is?
Yeah. Yep. You don't.
Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing that you would think that this is, whatever. Yeah. So and so.
Do we find, I guess beyond the tattoo, is there anything else on these guys, like any weapons or anything at all?
No. A quick check. There is not really anything of note. One of them, you find some electronic equipment that, upon inspection, you assume that one of them was a technician of sorts that was part of the group. But of course, all his stuff is fried.
Okay. From this room, I guess, do we see any other, I don't know, corridors, doors, anything else?
Yeah, so
branching off from here?
if you keep going in the same direction, call it south, there is another corridor that kind of looks like it leads down into further depths of the base.
Okay. Well, and I remember too from Bowles, Kellis Bowles recordings, he'd mentioned humans, like outsiders, coming to do some dealings here, right?
Yeah, they're the masters of trade. So anybody who wanted to come to, make a deal with them.
Yeah, I remember him specifically saying like some humans, I thought, and he wasn't
Yeah.
like happy about it or something.
Yeah, I can't remember if he specifically said humans or outsiders.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to take a look at your, you know, uh,
Yeah,
copy of that
what
information,
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
'cause
Yeah, you got a download of it.
says visitors have gone, makes all of us uneasy when outsiders are brought here. People of Kalaran really dislike us, and bringing in humans does not do great things for morale.
All right. So down to say, well, wonder if these might be the humans they were referring to that have been here before.
then kind of nudges one of the bodies with his boot and says, "Must have been. Don't know what they did to deserve a death like this."
Right. Trying to think whether Dak was to go back to that office and investigate, see if we can find some more information. Yeah, so I may mention the group like, hey, I still want to check Bo Koss, right? Yeah, Kobas.
Kobas.
Kobas's desk there and see if we can find any more information. It sounds like he was the guy running this operation potentially. So if he had any dealings with these human outsiders, maybe there's some sort of record of what they're here for.
Good idea.
So that being said, if we head back to his office and take a look around, or start to head that way at least.
Okay, yeah, so you can head back.
Okay.
So stepping out from the kitchen, going back to his office, heading in there, you greeted with the scene that you saw before, just the blue, mysterious chemical or whatever spread around. You're specifically going to check out his desk?
Yeah, that's the only other thing in here, really, is like a desk, no
Basically,
like
yeah.
filing cabinet. So yeah, just I guess
Right, yep.
sort of investigate his desk, take a look around, at it initially, and then if it looks like not locked or whatever, I guess check the drawers, see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
All right.
Okay, so you dig around, and I mean, all you're really able to find that seems of note is some, that mysterious stuff called paper, stationery with Kobas's name on it, and he has a title on there: Overseer of Cartel Operations, Tilnes Special Detachment. Not much else. You do see a few. This is kind of more on the desk and whatnot, but fragments of something, metal. They look like melded together. Maybe some kind of a case. You can assume maybe from the blast. That are kind of, you have to brush away as you look into the desk, but beyond that, nothing else.
All right. So well, I can't find anything here to help us. Anybody else, feel free to take a look. Krellin, I know you like to look around at things. Maybe you can make something more of it than I can.
All right. I will step up and give it a look. Investigation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Where is that?
All right, so doing a very thorough job, more than Dak. You unfortunately, though, don't find anything else beyond what he already found. You just kind of see that the drawers didn't contain much. You know, you might pick up a few extra pieces of the the device or what's left of it. You know, that kind of help put a little bit of the puzzle back together of what this was, some kind of a metal case. Yeah, beyond that, there's just nothing really else of note.
All right. Turn to
Yep.
Dak and say, "It's too horrific to say. Something awful happened here. I don't feel comfortable speaking on it. I think we should leave."
Can Dak tell if Krellin's full of crap or not?
Give me an insight check. And Krellin, give me your
Deception?
choice of charisma. Yeah.
No, that's 100% deception. He's kind of saying it with a smile in the corner of his mouth, not hiding it very well.
Yeah. He seems like he's yanking your chain.
Oh, there's got to be something of value in this place.
No.
Well, I mean, not necessarily in this office, but I mean just in this whole operation. The cartel's been down here for a while. Doesn't make any sense why they'd be down here.
Well, if we go find whatever seemingly, or rather presumably, undead monstrosities are in here,
Well,
maybe
true.
they have something?
Well, so we did. That Valen did say the humans we saw had been dead for a little while, so they weren't. That wasn't the scream I heard earlier.
Right.
Correct. They'd been dead probably about an hour, I'd say.
Yeah.
Karites,
Well,
at least a week,
if
somewhere
there's
around there.
people dying still in the last hour, or even more recently, there may be some other people, some other folks alive still down here we could find.
I'd agree. If we can help those people, we should probably do what we can to at least make sure they get out of here alive. Maybe they'll know
Yeah.
more of what happened and fill in the details.
And the cartel might reward us for saving their people.
Maybe. Or didn't they already reward us before? Weren't they our mysterious payment one time? I think that was them.
Oh yeah. Well, they got deep pockets. So yeah, I
Who
guess we'll
knows?
head back to that cold room, and then so there's a corridor that kept going south from there.
Yeah, it actually seems to go like descend like a ramp, and then you know, kind of some stairs that descend deeper into the base, into the moon.
Okay. Guess we'll head that direction.
Okay. Who's up front?
I'll lead the charge.
Okay.
Valen will stick close to the front just to see if he can mostly number one, identify if there's gonna be any sort of supplies he can nick in case there are survivors. And then also just to pay attention for any signs of bodies or the like.
Okay.
Blood. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Krellin, give me a perception check.
All right.
All right, so keeping your eyes peeled, you continue down a corridor that eventually seems to come to it splits off into a bit more rough, natural cavern, if you will. You know, you guys are in the depths of the moon. It's not unexpected that, you know, they maybe use some natural passageways, or they just didn't, you know, put up manufactured walls and structures and whatnot in some parts here. But you eventually get to one part that seems to open up into a more cavernous area. And you can tell this by just there's a door in front of you, and there's just the walls begin to transition into this more of a natural surrounding. You also, as you get up close to that doorway, you do hear the sounds of something just kind of, almost a heavy breathing, grumbling, kind of walking around in the area before you.
Okay. Well, then, hearing that in my right hand, I again check to make sure that my gun's good to go. But in my left hand, I'm going to pull out my electro baton and have it ready and just say, I heard something and I don't know what it is, but I'm ready to deal with it.
Well, might I suggest not fighting it? I know that seems counterintuitive to what I normally do, but maybe making sure it's not gonna harm us would be better.
There's like a million dead bodies in here already. I mean, look, man, I get you're a Jedi and you like to save lives, but you failed to save all those, so I'd rather at least save our own.
We weren't even here when they died. They were like literally died a week ago.
Right, but we're here now and I don't want to join them.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting not dying. I
By
might
not
become one with the
fighting it?
Force later, but I'm not doing it now.
I
So,
don't think we're going to
well,
have much of a choice.
What sort of room is this that opens? It's just the giant cavern.
You guys have not
Sort
stepped
of.
into it yet. You are
Okay.
still kind of in the manufactured corridor section, but there's a doorway for you, and yeah, you can see the natural walls surrounding that, and then you can kind of see into the room, and you can tell it gets a little bit darker. There's still lighting. Think of like kind of mine shafts with some spotlighting every little bit that do kind of illuminate the area, but you can tell it looks very natural. Of the natural rock of the moon compared to the base that you've gone through so far.
Did it sound like a beast, or did it sound more humanoid? Or could you tell?
Give me a perception check. It was... animalistically humanoid.
As if like a feral human
Yeah.
almost?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
It definitely, yeah, it wasn't like, words or anything like that. It was definitely just kind of a heavy, almost, growl or whatnot.
Well, I guess I'll just whisper to them quietly, like, well, what is the plan of action? What do you want to do here?
yeah. So we can try to find out what this thing is, and first sign of hostility, we put it down.
Krellin?
I'm sorry, I was reading something on my... I admittedly zoned out. Sorry, what was it?
It's like, what?
I said, go check out this thing, and if it looks hostile at all, we put it down.
Yes. I'll raise my two weapons already in hand. My electro baton is activated, by the way. I'm
Krellin, we're gonna need you to do an animalistic growl.
roar.
Perfect.
Wait. My one time. The only time this will ever be rolled this campaign. Performance.
Yeah.
That's his specialty. Animal noises.
Are you trying to do something legitimate? Are you being sarcastic about it? Describe
joking about it, but-
your animal roar for your fellows.
All right. He, for some reason, takes it very literally as Lance says that, and he thinks, well, it must be life or death. Why else would he say it in a time like this? And he very tries to emulate like a as animalistic roar, like a lion.
And yeah, that comes out, and there's a. As soon as you do that, there is a grunt, a questioning grunt from deeper in the cavern after you do that. And you begin to hear the footsteps of something kind of heading closer and closer towards where you are.
Well, we got something's attention, and I'll point in the direction wherever that grunt was from.
See, now we're communicating.
I meant
Wonderful.
more like what's our plan? Like so we could plan it out. What's our plan?
Don't die. Kill the other.
Kill this thing that you just summoned to us.
Potentially, we don't know what it is, but most likely kill it.
All right, fair enough. Valen's gonna use the Force to camouflage himself. He just kind of slink into the shadows and try to observe this thing as it comes closer without raising his attention. I basically cast Force camouflage on myself,
Okay.
which is invisibility.
All right. 1 second. So, as you guys are sitting there at the base of the corridor in front of the room there, oh, I got our things wrong because I had them wrong the first time around. Oh, I have these way wrong. And it's there. Sorry, 1 second, guys. You guys can see the map though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dynamic. Is that what that is? Oh, it's just. I see.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I wasn't seeing
I
it.
just see a black
Oh, sorry.
screen right
Let me. Yeah.
down. My view.
There is something in the bottom right corner. I don't know if we're supposed to see it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That was earlier.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you guys are here at the base, and yeah, you see Krellin basically disappear from view, but then a beast comes into view as it begins stomping forward, and you see a Krellin, you see a Karite before you, but it's not a normal Karite that you're used to. It did a Hulk transformation, and it's only got like trashed pants. It doesn't really have much else it's wearing. It is just, I mean, beefed out. Someone definitely pumped one of these things full of steroids. It looks like just muscled out. Its head is kind of elongated and whatnot and deformed. Its mouth, its maw full of like its jagged teeth, is heavier and wider than what you've seen on all the other carates that you've seen so far. And it just saunters over and catches you in the doorway, and you see a little look of recognition, and it just gives a little bit of a growl, that a hungry growl, as it looks like it's about to come and pursue you.
I will growl back at it.
And now we're fighting.
The 2.
All right, everybody else?
Oh, sorry.
Do I need to add you guys, or?
I was there, and then it went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there too.
I'm the only survivor.
I'll put it
I had a
back in.
9.
2 growling beasts fighting each other.
Oh, well. Oh, maybe you guys rolled it early and you were already on there. That's what I think what happened. And I just
Yeah, we did.
assumed it was from like a different session, so I cleared it all.
Oh.
That's why.
No, that was...
Yeah, it's all good. Okay. Okay. All right. So this beast, you can see he's rushing towards you guys in the corridor. So Dak, what are you doing?
Dak is going to draw both of his blaster pistols and fire at it.
Okay. Looks like you do have just enough of an angle to get through the door and do so.
Okay, so I'll use my first attack.
All right. Shot goes out. 18 will hit. 5 points of energy.
Yeah, bad damage roll.
The shot goes out and hits the beast, and it seems like it definitely impacts, but he shrugs it off pretty easily.
Okay. Go ahead and use my extra attack now that I have that. Yay.
Second one with a 19 will hit, and that goes out. And this one you hit him in a better spot than your first shot, but still it just doesn't seem like it's impacting like you normally would.
Okay. Well, Dak doesn't know what to do anything at this point. His initial thought of seeing a Karite Hulk beast moving towards the group is just to draw blasters and start firing and see what happens. So we'll follow up with the dual wield. I'm sure the 6 will miss. The 14, I don't know.
Sorry, 6 will. 14, you're just able to find purchase on the beast for another seemingly a little bit of damage.
All right. So he'll Dak will take, firing all 4 of his blaster shots. Knowing that Lan is behind him, he'll just kind of move out of the way a little bit. So Lan potentially would have a shot with his rifle. He's worked with Lan long enough to know not to get in his way and take a bullet in the back of the head on accident.
Okay. He is
That'll
up.
be-
Kralin, do you have a bad feeling?
I do, yes.
Do you want to utilize that?
Yeah, actually, I'll just see. Yeah, I'll move like up there.
Okay. So would you have used that? I guess I would say.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
my brain faltered.
No, that's fine. All right. So the creature is going to come up to you.
Wonderful.
You're the appetizer. Or the entree, as they say over in Europe, as entree means start. And you see this just roided out Karite come up to you and just reach out with it. Even his hands, his claws look heavier and nasty, and he just is going to take some swipes.
Okay.
20 to hit on the first one.
Yeah.
And another one for a 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
My AC is shit.
And
some
that will
maintenance
be 12 on the first, 15 on the second. Kinetic damage.
I will use my reaction to reduce the damage. I mean, I'd say I would have said of the first hit by half.
Okay. So 6 and 15. So 21 total.
Wonderful.
And then he lunges forward at you with one final attempt, opening his jagged tooth maw to take a bite.
Oh. I'd appreciate it if he didn't.
22.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For 14 more points of kinetic damage. And as he comes up on you, Krellin, you can see, I mean, he also just, you know, he's just growling and drooling, and you can tell that he is not of himself. This is not, you know, the typical sentient type Karite that you know. Lan, you're up.
Okay. This is not good. I'll step forward here and I'll use my bonus action to give Krellin some tactical barrier.
Okay.
So it's 2 AC.
How much?
Plus 2 AC.
Okay.
Concentrating on that. And then I'm gonna fire at the Karite.
26 will definitely hit.
And I'll get my extra attack in, get another shot off.
22 will hit.
I'll use my one of my maneuvers and make this covering fire. So, Krellin, you can use your reaction to move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
I do not have one of those.
Oh no, I used the die.
No, I don't have a reaction. I used mine.
Oh, right. Crap. Okay. Well, that's okay. I get to add the d6 for damage, at least, and that'll end my turn.
All right. Lan, you despite some good shots and connecting with the beast, you also notice that it doesn't seem to, impact as much as you thought it might. And but you still 3 more on that.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah, you don't do as much damage as you thought you should, but you still did, and the Karite takes notice of this, and while he can tell he's got Krellin down and ready to take out, but the Karite turns towards you, Lan, and before Valen is up, is actually going to rush over towards you, Lan. Valen, it is your turn.
Okay, so let's see here. Well, that's a pain in the ass. It's like rough terrain anywhere I want to move. So I'm invisible. That means he can't do opportunity attacks against me, right? Because he can't see me?
I believe so.
Perfecto. Okay.
Does it say,
I'll get up to there in an effort to get to Krellin.
you're just using regular force camouflaged?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I linked it up above.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, and without... I guess without... I don't really want to break the camouflage if I can help it. That thing will eat me up if it finds me. But I'm gonna try to patch up Krellin on my next turn, so that's it for me.
Okay. Did you do an action this round?
Um,
Or you...
I don't think so. Actually, I will dash to get up behind Krellin and
Okay.
just kind of whisper to him, "I'm right here. I'll get you. Just don't bring it back over here."
Alrighty.
And then
No, I
I'll
can
be
hear
in.
you walking. You're so loud.
But you can't see me walking. That's the point.
Before
See your
Krellin...
footprints.
Before Krellin is able to react, the Karite slashes out towards Lan with one of its
Fun.
claws. 15 to hit. It
That's
will.
not gonna hit.
Okay, Krellin, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, so with my... I'm going to attempt to shoot it. My pistol. I'm going to use
You attempted.
my inspiration to not shoot that badly.
All right, good use of that with a 23 over the nat 1. Will hit. Go ahead and
Yes.
roll damage.
9
All right.
plus... hold on, let me see what this feature is. Exactly what it consumes. Sorry.
Sneak attack it.
Well, no, because I switched to rough, and I was... Yes. I will do the damage attack. And then bonus action. Well, I guess bonus action. I'm just gonna... Farthest. Yeah, I'm just gonna run around this pillar and attempt to hide.
Okay.
My bonus action.
All right. Give me a stealth check for that. Okay. You feel pretty hidden. Drag your token out from your thing as well. I can't for some reason myself. So just to show that you use that for inspiration. And then also you also notice that your shot didn't do wasn't as impactful as you expect it to be. Dak, you're up. Dak, you see as everyone flies out of the hallway, Lan runs forward, but then the beast comes up and you know, has lashed out at Lan, but missed.
Don't have a lot of options besides shooting things. Attack is... Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna shoot it again with my blasters because I don't have really any other
Alrighty. Let it fly. Okay. First shot going out. 22 will hit. Or a little bit. Next one, wild miss with a nat 1. You get your sights lined up on your next two with the 17 and 15, both hitting a little bit more. Still not doing what you think it should. It seems like he's shrugging some of that off, but better than nothing, I guess.
All right, that's it.
Okay. It is Karite turn, and it still it's focused on its target now, Lan, and yeah, it's just gonna go at him. Couple swipes of his claws. A 13 and a 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
And I got rid of the. Oh, come on, website. That was the. Okay. So from the first claw attack, 11 points of kinetic damage. And then again, just like on Lan, he's going to reach down and try and take a big bite. This blue is on the menu, it seems. A 27, almost crit
Ooh.
there. For 16 points of kinetic damage. And he rotates around, kind of dancing around, looking towards Dak down the hallway with a grin. And Lan, you're up.
Okay. I think with a 10 on that con save, I've lost concentration.
Yeah, let's see.
It's 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
Yeah. The first
Is
one
it
was
the-
11 damage, so you would have missed. Yep. So, yeah. So Krellin, you would lose that 2 points. Okay.
Wait, he missed it?
They said half.
Oh
half
no,
the
you're
damage?
right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. You're right.
He just has to make one
of half
per
the damage.
attack.
Okay, so I have to do one.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Then.
You're good. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got confused on the half the
Sweet.
damage thing.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right, I'm gonna hit this guy with a flame sweep.
All right. So they got to make a DC 14
Yeah.
dex. That is a big fail. He looks. He definitely looks a little. He looks anything but nimble, given his size and whatnot. So he fails that as you just let out this sweeping cone of flame, and that definitely is impactful to the beast, to the creature, and he's not happy about that.
All right. Well, that ends my turn. I don't want to leave his reach and get killed.
Okay. After you go, he's gonna return and just take another swipe for a 26 to hit. For 13 points of kinetic damage from that slash.
Okay, I'm in.
Valen, you're up.
Seeing Lan go down, Valen kind of realizing that his entire job is to make sure he doesn't go down. And he was trying to help Krellin, but Krellin seemed to run off. So Valen's going to turn his attention to Lan, and still stealth is going to use his trauma kit to bandage him up. And he gets, here, I actually made a macro for this. So you will get 5 plus your max number of hit die HP back.
So 5, right?
Nice.
So yeah, I think that's 5
Yeah.
plus another 5, so 10.
You
And I'll just whisper into his ear, he doesn't know I'm here. I've got your back.
All right, so Lan is prone on the floor as you get a shot of some healing from Valen, bringing you out of your unconsciousness. Valen, you might be able to find the button for level, or if there's a way to link level. We'll have to look at that, because then you could maybe program that in. We'll have to see. If you didn't already
for
look.
the number of hit die.
Yeah.
I hadn't been using it the entire time. I thought the +4 is a little low, but I mean whatever. It's
Yeah.
free HP, and then I realized, oh, it's supposed to actually be a lot more than that.
All right. So after Valen, is that your turn, Valen?
I also kind of wanted to. I don't know if this would be an action or not, but see if I could find that from what Dak told us, it sounded like that scream came from over here. Or
In this
down this
area,
way?
I mean.
Do I see anything on the floor that might possibly be?
I mean, you can give
where
me a
the
quick
scream
perception
originated?
check.
Alright.
Trauma kits would be an action, though, wouldn't it?
It is. Is
Okay,
this
yeah.
an action?
No, but you're fine. You're fine on the perception check as well. So.
Okay. I just didn't know
Okay.
what you were
Yeah, you are focused on on taking care of your counterpart with a nat 1 there on the perception. So. Not focused on that. But after that, the Karite, seeming that not noticing you, thinking that Lan is down, will come back, is going to rush forward towards Dak. Krellin, you're up.
Right. So. Stupid rocks. Park. Okay. So I'd go to here. 5 feet. I think that's my range. No. Shite. Okay. Against my better judgment, I will bonus action dash just to get a bit closer. I want to remain at least 30, 40 feet away from this thing. Yeah. Literally just at my range, and I'm going to attempt to shoot it
if you
from
go the other way around, you'd be in range. You're right here, right?
Here.
You're up against the wall, I thought. So, but anyway, if you can
Yeah.
see my ping right now,
Oh, yeah.
if you got 45, you can get, there, and then.
Well, either way, I'd have to dash because I have 35.
Oh, you only have 35 feet? Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I was doing 45, so that's my bad, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
So I'm just trying to
Yeah, no, and that would be too part of an
stay
angle.
as far as I can while still within range.
Okay, so you moved
Plenty
up,
to hit.
you said with dash?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
dashed.
bonus action, yeah. Okay. All right, you do, and pulling out your little pistol. 20 will hit.
Right. So that is 8 plus 16 kinetic damage.
Okay.
That is my turn, I believe.
All right, you do hit the beast in the back as it is going towards Dak, but just doesn't seem like it's doing as much as it could. Dak, you're up.
All right. Dak is going to pull out his vibro rapier in one hand and keeping a pistol in the other, and kind of closing his eyes for a quick moment, give himself a phase strike with the bonus action
Okay.
to have advantage on this attack, and slash at the creature with the rapier here. Find the advantage button. There it is.
All right, switching to your bladed weapon, you're able to find a hit with a 16. Give me damage there.
All right,
All
and
right.
it does 1d8 of force damage as well.
What's that from? from the phase strike?
Phase strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the initial hit, you feel that it doesn't seem to cut through at first, but just a little bit extra into it seems like it gets through and connects quite well, actually.
All right. And I don't get I think they don't get opportunity attacks with phase strike, if I remember right. Let me double check.
I think that's like one. Don't you get? It's basically once per turn or once per use, right? Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't give opportunity attack. It increases my movement speed by 30 as well. So.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my regular movement basically to get to here. Using my extra attack now that I'm at range, I'm going to go ahead and shoot my blaster pistol at it. Oops, should not have been an advantage, but 23.
It's fine. 23 definitely hits. Okay.
Then guess yeah, use the rest of my movement speed to go ahead and move down this way.
All right.
And that'll be it.
Okay. It is Karite's turn, and he's gonna rush out here and just look about. He sees Lan, who seemingly still looks down and out. He sees his initial snack, Krellin, and not gonna be able to get to him though, I don't think. No.
Hopefully.
And yeah, he's gonna rush out and will spend his action just getting up next to you. Lan, you are up.
Perfect.
You are prone.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stand up from prone, and I'm gonna load in a couple of electrifying cartridges into my rifle and let loose a couple shots at this nasty Karite guy.
All right. 29 definitely hits. 17. Okay. The kinetic stays kinetic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only the extra bonus takes the.
So a con save.
Yeah.
Either takes 1 or 1, I guess.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
This is gonna determine if he's shocked or not.
Oh, right.
So actually is gonna fail. So takes the damage and then shocked.
Oh, so no reaction.
Track number 2.
That's all that does, Indy? Just no reaction?
I believe that's the
I
main
got it
thing for
actually pulled up here. Shocked. Can't take reactions on its turn. Can take either action or bonus, not both. All right. Letting another shot go out with a 30. That will definitely hit.
Just hits.
Okay.
The cartridge will be.
Another one? Okay.
Yeah. Throw some extra lightning in there.
Yeah. Will succeed on this one and take half of that damage. Okay.
All right. And then I'm just gonna run down the hall as far away from this guy as I can in my turn.
Okay. After you go, creature is frustrated and a little confused that you kind of pop back up, but and then as you took off, it's going to turn back towards Krellin, and before Valen you're able to go, you see the beast slash out with its claws at the blue-skinned figure in front of him. With a nat 1, the shock has gotten to him and has prevented him to connect. Valen, you're up.
All right. Looking at this guy, he definitely looks like a Karite, correct?
Yes, just
Like unmistakably, something's wrong with him.
Yep.
Does it look like I guess I probably wouldn't be able to tell without getting up close to him, but he looks messed up. So I guess seeing a chance and getting some inspiration from that, Valen's gonna see if this is a long shot. But he's gonna take a dose of the antitox kit,
Okay.
and as an action, administer it to the K-Rite.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you. There we go. And so hopefully, we'll see what that does. Maybe he de-hulks.
So you rush up to him, and this invisible something jams the kit into the side of the beast as it's focused on Krellin, and you can tell that it feels the prick of the kit, and it kind of looks around towards the direction of it, and you can tell it's confused, but it just seems like you just annoyed him with the pick. Nothing happened.
Damn mosquitoes.
Did nothing. Well, I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas. Let's see, what was that? 15. So then, I guess Valen's seeing that. Still invisible, right? Was that considered a
Yes.
hostile action? Okay.
Is that
I mean, it
what
was
drops
friendly.
it?
I was trying to help him. I mean, God, the guy looks sick. I was just giving him some medicine.
It has an idea that something might be there and can attempt to go after it. But
Okay. Well, failing that, he's gonna.
does doing something drop it?
It's, I believe, hostile action, casting a power, or attacking.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think you're fine then.
Okay. Valen meant well, so not really hostile.
Give me a stealth check.
My one weakness. I'm gonna add. I don't think it matters. Never mind.
Oh wow. All right, so with a dirty one from the beast, as it looks over towards what this thing pricked him and kind of like slashes in the air, you're able to luckily get by without suffering an attack of opportunity as you move past.
So it doesn't have reactions right now anyway.
That's true. Yes, thank you.
And he can't see me, so he can't attack what he can't see.
If he perceives that you're there.
I thought that was something about opportunity attack specifically, but I might be wrong. Either way, he's safe. And he'll stay within arm's length of Krellin.
Oh, go away.
He'll back up a little bit, give Krellin some space,
Perfect.
and Krellin's a bit testy.
That kind of wants to yell at Valen, use
he'll-
the force.
He'll stay there just in case he's needed.
All right,
little like we didn't work.
Krellin, you are up.
Okay, what I was gonna do would have worked anyways. It's just would have limited my movement. I'm going to attack it with my electro baton.
All right, you strike out with that, and you do hit
Okay.
the 25.
And yes, and because of the ruffian thing, since there's no one else within 5 feet of me, I do get sneak attack. And it has to make a dex save? Dex save.
Okay.
Get that. But actually, that would make that the sneak attack 4 damage, because I'm gonna get rid of 2 of the dice. I'm gonna use my nimble step feature, and it lets me basically increase my AC by 2 of the dice, or rather, I'm explaining this bad. If I roll 2d6, one of those numbers, my AC will increase by it, but it has to make a charisma saving throw. If it succeeds, I get the lower number. If it fails, I get the higher number.
Okay.
So my AC would either go up by...
So it fails. So give me 1d4 of lightning damage.
1d4, right.
Okay. So it takes
Okay.
all of that, and it is shocked till the end of its next turn. It was already shocked, but it's more shocked. So you need a charisma,
Charisma.
a 12. Am I against a DC on that?
8 plus proficiency is 3 now.
Yeah.
So 11. No, my DC is 16.
Okay.
Then, so my AC for its next attack is 20.
Did you roll?
And then,
You rolled 2d6?
well, my
Oh,
sneak
because you're
attack,
using, yeah,
yeah, it rolls 3d6.
2 or 5. So you're adding the 5 to it?
Yeah,
Yep,
I just
I gotcha.
assumed keep the first one, get rid of the.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Then, I'm gonna back up behind Valen. So if it charges at me, might run into something else. Question, because I've never done dual wield. When you bonus action attack, do you not add the modifier to the damage, or is it the attack? Do you know?
It's the damage. You don't get to
Damage?
add the mod.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
think you still
damage.
attack like you're proficient, but just no damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so then can I bonus action attack with a ranged weapon, even if my first one was with a melee? I don't know how that works.
Yes, as long as it's light.
Okay, it is, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So then I will try to shoot it.
Okay.
For
So you
17.
fire off, and 17 does hit.
Okay, and then it would be this minus 3, so 6.
Okay.
Or sorry, minus 5. Minus 5.
So 4 points?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That is my turn. And that was a confusing one, I'm sorry.
All right. It is going to rush towards you, and it is going to run into something, and it's very confused as it does, and is just not sure what is going on. Dak, you're up.
All right. Dak is thinking back to he was able to get a good attack previously in the hallway there. He is going to once again use Phase Strike on himself. And using his blaster pistol, target the Karite with advantage.
$18 will hit.
And
Okay.
then 2 force damage. Wow.
All right.
Having his rapier out still, will move up and extra, or actually no, I just extra attack from back here with my pistol.
Did you say did you cast that again?
Yeah,
Okay.
I cast Phase
Yep.
Strike.
Okay.
So, or actually, yeah. So I will shoot extra attack at the Karite. Whoop, not at advantage. The 12 will miss.
12 will miss.
And that use my movement and back up, and that'll be it.
Okay. It is the Karite's turn. All right. So it is. It just ran into something, and it's very confused, and it's reaching out, trying to figure out what is there, so it's going to go ahead and attempt to take a swipe at whatever is there in front of it. Let's see if I did this right. Nope. So that's going to miss either way. So he swings out, and he's going to try again. Oh, I know why, because I didn't do 2d20. 18, Valen.
Valen's gonna throw up a force shield, try to avoid that.
Okay.
I think that can trigger on that. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can. Yep, he's still trying to maintain the illusion because he knows this thing's gonna rip him apart.
Well, force shield is a power, correct?
It's an ability? I don't know if that counts. Here, I will.
Oh, is it a consular one?
Yeah, it's the consular thing here. Your call, but that's what it is.
Because it's also a force power, is it not?
I don't think so. I mean,
No.
there is another one that's
What's the one I'm thinking of?
like a tech shield one, or the one that like gives you
Oh, is it just the tech
some
shield?
sort of. I think maybe there is a shield. I think that shield was the tech tree, and then there are a few other force ones that give you like temporary force points or temporary hit points. I mean,
Okay, no, that's fine.
things like
I'm
that.
thinking of the tech one. I just thought there was a force side one, so okay, that's fine.
I did too, but I think this is what
So what does that get
we
you
have
up to then?
that gets me up to 20.
20? Okay, so misses. All right, and it goes and it seems to hit something, but there's not really a reaction, and there's not like an impact. So it gives up, and it's going to come over to Krellin with its last attack.
Okay.
Is it still shocked and can't do bonus action?
Yes,
I don't know if any of that stuff you were doing was like on top of its regular action or not.
it is not.
Okay.
14 will miss, and that's it. He's frustrated. Lan, you are up.
Okay.
He's no longer shocked.
I'm gonna make him my Ranger's Quarry, which I probably should have done a long time ago, and attack him, shoot him with my rifle. Lands sort of leaning against the wall, bleeding out.
All right, firing down the hallway. You do hit him with a 16. Okay. Starting to show some signs of wear, definitely compared to where he was to begin with. Fire another shot off with a 21. Okay. Still not getting enough out of the, the full impact of the shot, but you're doing something.
All right. Well, that's my turn.
Okay. After that, he turns around, looks towards you, Lan, but he sees you're kind of a lost cause right now. Turns back to Krellin, and is going to give it another try with an 18, which I believe is going to miss. How long does that last?
Let me just make sure on save. It's only against the first attack, so it hits.
Okay.
This is gonna be close.
As the claw comes out, 11 points of kinetic damage.
Uncanny dodge. I have 1 hit point.
Alrighty. Valen, you're up.
Alright. Even though Krellin just tried to get him killed, Valen's going to take the trauma kit and quietly apply it to Krellin. And he gets 11 points of health back.
Oh, wonderful.
And then he'll kind of whisper to Krellin, maybe try not pissing it off. And then he's gonna...
Give me a stealth check as you whisper, please.
Not very quiet. And from the from that shot that I gave him, it didn't look like the antitox shot did anything, right?
Right.
Correct. Okay. Then Valen is going to back towards Dak. It'll be kind of. I think I can get there. Yeah. Okay. And then actually, I'll move up one. That way he has a full line of sight of everybody else. And that's turn.
So it is going to take a swing at you as a reaction towards you. It heard something over your way. It will be at disadvantage because you are technically still invisible, but it is still taking a reaction to swing out towards you as you leave its area. And that'll be a nat 1. Okay.
That's a miss.
All right. Krellin, you're up.
Yes. Also, I wanted to mention this earlier, but on that first turn when it hit me, it did exactly 41 points of damage. And if I hadn't reduced that with my uncanny dodge, that was my HP. That was a intense turn. But now hopefully I can favor do 10 damage to it. I'm going to attempt to attack it.
All right, as you swing out 14, you're just able to connect with the beast.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do the same thing with my sneak attack. So remove whatever the last two are. 3 and a 4. So just 8 points of kinetic damage.
Okay.
And then it has to make
Dex
the
save.
dex save and the charisma save.
Dex save, nat 1.
Okay.
Charisma.
So it also takes another 1 point of lightning damage.
14. I think that failed as well.
It does. So my AC is 19 on its next attack.
Okay.
And then I am going to walk away, and it cannot opportunity attack me because of...
It already used its
features.
reaction anyway, so...
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna... this way. Sort of behind Dak. And I will again attempt to bonus action attack it with my pistol, like I did before.
16 will hit.
So then 2 points of kinetic damage.
Okay.
And that is everything.
All right. It's going to rush up towards you guys here. And Dak, you're up.
All right. So I want to try to use my silver-tongued feat, which says this. Then when I take the attack action, I can replace one attack with an attempt to deceive. So I have to make a charisma. So I make a deception check contested by his insight.
Okay.
And then I get... and your attacks have... and your attack rolls against it have advantage. So my thought was, since I have extra attack, I can use the attack action, but I still have my extra... I replace one of those, I guess, with the thing.
So, okay, so extra, you have to take an attack to get extra attack.
Right, and you take
okay.
the attack action.
Right.
Which is what I'm doing.
Okay, yep. So, do your deception check. All right, I think that goes to him.
Okay. If your check fails...
On the time.
Actually, I'm gonna use Defiant.
Okay, then you'll be fine.
Because I wanted to not be able to not do that for an hour, because that would suck. Okay, so I have...
Just that specific target, but...
Yeah. So I have advantage on attacks against him now.
Your movement does not provoke opportunity attacks, and your attack rolls against have advantage. Last until the end of your next turn.
Okay. So I can use my... I guess my extra attack now on him.
Mm-hmm.
Use my... This doesn't matter, use my rapier.
All right, 26 definitely hits. Okay.
Okay. And we'll move. And then I still have my bonus actions, right? So I can use my my basically dual wield
Yeah.
with my pistol.
Yep.
Okay.
Running away, not paying attention. The 10 will miss, unfortunately. Anything else?
Cheap. I missed twice. Nope, that'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, trying again. Another 10. All right. The beast looks behind you as you run away, but he's frustrated at this resilient blue snack in front of him, and is just going to lay into him with a swipe of his claws. 24 for 12 points of damage.
Sorry, 12 damage to me.
12 points to you.
I will use my... Wait, I have my reaction back. Yes. I will reduce that to 6.
Okay. Swipes out again. Nat 20.
I will reduce my HP by 6.
And that will be 21 points of damage.
That works.
All right. Give me a con save, please.
Oh, fun. A high constitution. Oh, I do. Well.
I think that just hits.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So, yeah, you are on a success. You're good, but your next one, if it happens, will be a DC 15. But you are.
Oh, right. For the
the
wounded
wounds.
thing?
Yeah, you're down. So.
Oh, I just assumed he was transmitting some kind of disease to me.
Nope. So that, and then he's going to. Let's see. Yeah, he can turn around and he's going to go after Dak with one final bite attack. 18, Dak.
Hits.
20 points of kinetic damage. And then give me a Constitution save. DC 10. Okay, you're good. You're still concentrating on your base strike. I think, or has that been? Did you use another power? Because it lasts up to a minute. It lasts up to a minute.
What?
And I think the only benefit is opportunity attack movement.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even trying. I didn't realize I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I couldn't take opportunity attacks that entire time. Okay.
yeah.
Did not realize that.
Lan, you're up.
All right. I'm just gonna do the same thing as last time. Get some rifle shots on this guy. Try to take him down.
Okay. All right, 19 does hit. Good hit, but it's not as much as it could.
Okay. Maybe if I put an electrifying cartridge in this next one.
16, that hits. Good hit there. He's looking really rough. Con save. Oh, come on. All right. He takes a full 4 and he's shocked, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. He's on his last leg. Doesn't, you don't think he has anything in him at all? Anything else?
Kill Balin.
All right. He has enough in him at least to lash out at Dak, potentially one last time. With a 25 to hit.
Yep.
For 13 points of kinetic damage. Valen, you're up.
Okay, seeing this, I think Valen was gonna go revive Krellin, but he thinks Krellin could use, he could use this time productively to maybe do some introspection on maybe not putting people in danger and trying to get them killed. And so Valen's gonna rush in and try to help Dak from the Karite. And you said he looks pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How tall's the ceiling?
Mm,
Just go up a ways.
not a ton. I don't know. Call it 15 feet.
Oh, well, that's not that fun. Um, he is going to cast Project,
Okay.
Force Magic Missile,
All right.
and
How do
focus
you take it out?
all three of them down on him. Valen's gonna drop the illusion, and then as he drops the illusion, he's gonna take almost like when like it looks like he's like reappearing. He's gonna take that kind of energy and turn it into some sort of like odd like force energy and send it reeling at the Karite until it splinters and racks his body and he falls down.
All right. The Karite focused on Dak is looking just. I mean, he's bleeding from all parts of himself, and he's now just kind of in not even survival mode, just last minute destruction as possible. As he goes to lash out at Dak, but from behind him, all of a sudden, this burst of force energy just comes up from behind him and just starts piecing him apart, what little bit was left of him to begin with, and he just falls to the ground before your feet, Dak. Yeah, so let's
then-
see.
Let's see, with the rest of his
Valen and
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, anything else, Valen?
with the rest of his movement, he was gonna go up to Krellin, and now that we're out of combat, I assume I can. He was just gonna give life, or not give life. Spare the dying, so it
Do you-
stabilizes Krellin.
What is Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're good for that now. So.
The plan was to stabilize Krellin and then bring in the other three, or the other two, and then I'm gonna double up the force heal on Krellin and Lan, and then I'm going to give Dak a trauma kit treatment, and then we'll see where we're at there. And people need more patching up. Valen's got some med kits and more force to use,
Okay.
so he'll call over Lan. Like, you want some healing, Lan? Come find me at Krellin.
And
Lan's
comes
just
over.
been dead in the hallway this whole time.
I stabilized it. He's going nowhere. Okay. So I'm twinning heal. This one will be for Krellin. So he gains 11. I think it did that correctly. It did. Perfect. And then this one's for Lan. Get 17. Yeah. Points. And then with Dak over here, he's going to give him a use of the trauma kit, which is that +5, so 15.
Alrighty.
And Valen will take a look at everybody, like, well, how's everybody feeling?
Me and Lan are just like bleeding out.
I'm feeling great. I mean, I could fight 3 more of those things. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but that went
Wonderful.
great.
You barely fought the one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you kill it, or was that me? Takes a Krellian, to get the job done, I guess.
Hmm. I wouldn't know. I didn't see the whole fight.
There it is.
Good. You weren't meant to.
Could certainly smell him though.
I think
The
that
one-
was like one of you rubbed off on me or something when I was next to you. Like someone let something go. I just managed to have the smell linger on me. I don't know. But how is everybody doing? Lan, did you
Looks
gain your
like
17?
Yeah, let me
I
put that in
have
there. Let me see if I-
11.
You have 11. Okay. Gonna take a med pack and give it to Krellin, so you can just do. Or actually, wait. Let's see. I'll do another twin heal on Dak and Krellin. First one for Dak. Second one for Krellin.
Keep getting shafted.
Yeah. I tried to get you last so it would get the bad roll out of the way, but
I know.
and actually each time I think for each of those, because that's a light side power, I can let I think that lets me let you have an extra hit point with the from the Ashla thing. No, okay, never mind. I already included that. So no, that's what you get. But we saved a med pack.
As you
Wonderful.
guys lick your wounds, recover from this abomination of a Karite before you that came upon, you can give me perception checks real quick.
Oh, not again.
Dak. Okay, so Krellin, you definitely picked this out. Valen a little bit as well. You guys do see the most recent victim of Kobas laying to the side of one of the cavern walls here, and Krellin, you pick out a glimmer of metal nearby him. Kind of looks like it got lost underneath some rubble, maybe thrown away when the creature went after his victim and whatnot. That kind of is tucked under just some debris and whatnot alongside the cavern wall.
All right, I will go over and grab this shiny object.
As you head over there, you lift up a chunk of... you're not even really sure what it is. Given recent events, it doesn't necessarily seem... you know, that came from the cavern necessarily. You don't really think you want to know either, but you discover this little case. As you pull it out, there are a trio of red lights flickering on its side, and there's a small latch on one edge, seemingly to be a means of opening up the case. And that's where we'll end tonight. Few minutes
Right.
after, and we will
Okay, right now we got it in the box.
come back and finish that up. So
that was
Right.
Kobas.
that was yeah, that was Kobas.
Okay. Must have had a name
Now we-
tag. I missed it.
Yeah.
That was fun. Has a little Kobas name tag flopping around, he's running around.
So now we know what the blue stuff did.
Well, I will say, just completely out of character, I enjoyed the fact that our character that could do the most consistent force damage to actually damage Kobas didn't do any until the very bitter end when he had like 1 hit point left.
But
He
did
stayed
Valen
hidden.
even know that it was doing
That's
less?
true. No one.
I mean, he might have if he
No
took
one
part in the
said
fight.
shit to
but-
him. I would have been killed quicker than any of you.
Just, this was the first time you've ever gone full invisible, not attack at all. After you jumped in the gladiator pit on your own.
I'm trying a
Just-
new tactic. That's all. It's a new
Yep.
tactic.
I,
It's called let the others do the fighting.
Right,
Jedi, if you will.
probably some help if the others call out that they're not doing as much as they could. But yeah.
Yeah, well, you know,
I
Valen's
don't
not a.
think Lan noticed.
You just kept
I think
firing.
Lan thought he was doing a great job. Yeah.
Doesn't
All
seem
right,
to be
guys.
doing much. Just throw more
Yeah.
at him.
All right. Well, good stuff. We'll pick back up, finish this up next week, and go from there. So, everybody
Alrighty.
have a good rest of
We're
your
not on
week.
break or anything, right?
Nope.
Oh
not
no,
yet.
that's next Monday.
Yeah, we're still
Okay.
good. This is yeah, we're episode 1 of this new trilogy. So.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right, guys.
See ya
See you next time.
See ya.